Welcome back, everyone. In this next video here, I'll be showing you guys how to implement Bootstrap and jQuery in your HTML game project. I'll also be discussing a few basic HTML syntax that I'll be using in my tutorials. So feel free to follow along and let's get to it. Alright, so recommend getting Visual Studio if you already don't have it. Just go online, type it in, download it, come back to the video when you guys are ready. First and foremost, if you just download it, or if you need to check, go up to Tools and go to the Features. That's the very first button. Let it load up real quick. First and foremost, you need the Universal Windows Platform Development and the, I believe it's the ASP.NET Web Development. Once you click those, make sure they're checked, hit the Modify button, let those download, and then come on back. Once you have those installed, let's make the project. Let's go File, New, Project. Go to Visual C# on the left, and then find the ASP.NET Web application. Name this whatever you want. Hit OK. Make sure it's on empty, everything is empty. Hit OK. Let that build. Alright, so you come up to the screen. Let's first and foremost, let's make the page for our game. We're going to hit add the HTML page. Call this whatever you want. Alright, so you got your basic page. What I recommend doing, going over to the HTML over here. Right click and hit set as start page. Every time you build it by hitting F5 or hitting the green arrow up here, it'll always open this page first. Alright, so first let's talk about some of the HTML syntax that I'll be using in this. First and foremost is going to be the div tag. Simple enough. Div is basically defines a division or a section of your code. Pretty simple. Then next I'll be using inputs. To get something to pop up like this, you do type. It could be all sorts of different things, but for this we'll be doing buttons. Give it a value, and we're going to say hello world. And alright, let's check that. So again, hit F5 or just click the green arrow up here. Let that build. Might take a few seconds for the first time. And here's your button. What other people might be telling you to do is to do a button tag. Personally, I like using inputs. A lot easier to use for me. If you can work with buttons, I would go ahead and do that, but for this I'm going to be using inputs. Next thing we want to be using in this is a table. Table tag is self-explanatory. It's basically just making a grid table on your page. Let's see, let's make a header. Just do t-head. Add tr. Tr stands for table row. It's every time you add tr, it's just a new row in that table. And then td is what is going to be contained in the cell of that table. So this could be hello. And then here, if we run that again, you will see that now your table header right here is hello. You still have your input, which is good. Alright, so let's add some more rows to this. So we can go out of table head, you want to do table body. That's just defining the table's body content. Here you can add a new row. Let's add a couple of the TDs. You can just copy and paste that about 3 times if you want. And we call this name and favorite food. Alright, so out of the table row, we can add another table row. Add table data, copy and paste that 3 times. And the age, we could say 36. Name is going to be Rick. And favorite food is going to be pizza. Why not? So now if you go ahead and run this, you'll see now that it's in a table format. You have your header, the first row, which is the age, name, favorite food, and the age 36, Rick, and pizza. So there's no styling to it yet. That is what we'll be covering here now. We want to implement jQuery and Bootstrap. jQuery will be used for the actual scripting of the game, and Bootstrap is more for just making the HTML easier and helping out with some things that could take a lot longer. So what we're going to do, easy way to do this, is right click on your solution over here, so just the name you gave your project, go over to manage NuGet packages, go over to browse, find jQuery, install that one, let that install real quick. Make sure that's downloaded. Okay, and Bootstrap install. Alright, so now once you have those, you want to go back to your HTML page. What you want to do is go to scripts over here, find the jQuery min, drop that in, and then next, to get Bootstrap in your project, you want to go over to Google, go to getbootstrap.com. Once you're here, head over to this. We're going to do version 3.3.7, and then we're going to go to getting started. You want to scroll down just a little bit, find this first link right here, copy that, go back here, right underneath the jQuery script, just paste that. Perfect. Alright, so those are now in. So what we can do with this is we can add classes, and those classes will have different meanings. So for an example, we'll go to the input here. We're going to hit class equals button primary. Alright, hit build. Alright, so that's successfully hit F5 or hit the green. Maximize, and you'll see now that that button is colored and it's styled with rounded corners and everything. So that's all in. Another example of this is we can go down to table, give it a class, name this table, and then table dash striped. So now if we run this again, you will see now that the rows are spaced and it is striped. So this one's a little darker and this one's white. So every other row it's going to be just back and forth for that. Alright, so let us add a script real quick. Add a JavaScript file. We're going to name this game. Alright, so once you have that, you go down to this at the bottom of your HTML page. Type script. Source is going to be scripts and then game.js. Save that. You can go back in over here. So with jQuery installed, we can do $, open close. Now, if we go back in here, an easy way to do this is with IDs. So on this input up here, we can give it an ID. Name this hello button. Alright, so back over to the code. Use the jQuery selector of hashtag and type in hello button. Make sure that's spelled right. Looks good. And then we can do click, call function, open close brackets, make sure to close that off. And then in here we could just do a simple alert. Alright, so now we can run it. We can hit F12 to see the developer tool, see if there's any errors or anything. So we're good. So now if we hit hello world, this will pop up, meaning that once you click this button, you can do an action. So we can keep that in. Alright, for now, I think that is it for this video. In the next one, we'll start the actual layout of the HTML game. I will show you guys what the game will look like, and then we'll get started coding it. We'll see you then.